Welcome back to the ESL Pro League North American Division. Elfish Guy, 1-1. That wasn't too bad from Liquid and CLG. Nope. CLG definitely brought it to Team Liquid, and I hope that this next matchup will be equally good.
I think it'll be close again. Both these teams, to me, feel pretty evenly matched. The maps, Cache and Train, both seem to be maps that they do seem to play a little bit. So yeah. I think if I had to say, I think both those maps maybe just slightly favouring compLexity a little bit, but I think it should be still relatively close here.
Well, Selfless sitting at 8th spot on the ladder, compLexity sitting at 11th. How do you balance that out? Is there reasoning for this?
No, not really. I mean, it's just where they found themselves. To be honest.
Like, they found themselves. Yeah, okay. They're just open. They're like, oh, I got off the train at the
me,
wrong stop once again.
Why is compLexity at 11th? Well, because they've lost more games than Selfless have.
You say that compLexity have, like, oh, this should favour compLexity in this regard.
Well, the maps, I think, is what I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
Selfless have won one more game than compLexity, and that's why they're up in number 8, and compLexity is in 11.
So you're not saying Selfless got off the train at the wrong stop, and now they're in 8th spot. Just like, oh, I found myself here. What are we doing? No.
I don't know where we're even going with this.
All right. So what is your prediction on who's going to win what map? Let's start with that.
It's hard to say. I think, like, because I feel they're both so close together, my overall prediction was a 1-1.
Yeah.
But to me, like I said, I feel like both those maps may be slightly favouring compLexity here. So it's just going to come down to, I think, who turns up on the day here. Again, it is hard to say. I'm just going to go, first map, I'm going to say compLexity.
Mm-hmm.
And judging by the results from that, maybe we'll revise our prediction for the second one.
All right. I'll give you an opportunity to revise between Game 1 and Game 2, Elfish Guy. But definitely potential here for this to be a close affair for sure.
Yep.
And I'd love to see a couple of maps just like we saw on Mirage, which really we weren't expecting necessarily for CLG to bring back just as well as they did.
No, didn't think they would be able to bring it back. After the first map that we saw come out there, it just felt like Liquid was going to roll over them there on Mirage, but wasn't the case. And again, this one, if it turns out like a strong start like that for either of these teams, then they definitely have the potential to roll over the second map as well. So I guess we just have to wait until we get underway, really, to see how this one's going to turn out.
Yeah, absolutely. The start going to be important as well on Cache. It can be a little bit difficult once your opponent gets the ball rolling. And I'm going to say Cache is how we say it over here. I don't care. Cache. Yep. It's just going to
just like
HP.
With it.
Yeah, just like HP. Just like, I don't know, other things, other words.
Yeah.
But Cache is the real way to say it if you live in Australia. I'm sorry. I know it's North American Pro League, but I don't know if I say Cache, I just don't think I'm going to be able to make it happen.
Yeah, no. I've tried, but I just can't.
Yeah.
You get used to saying Cache, and it's just how it is.
You do? Yeah. Well, we'll see. You'll just have to grin and bear it, I suppose, ladies and gents. But we will get there. Looking at that win-loss record, compLexity, 4-10. It's not a great score, to be honest. Not a great track record.
No, but there's obviously opportunities now for them to come back in here and bring it back, because this is a close matchup. Both these teams, sitting towards the lower end of the scoreboard, and they'll be both feeling like it is a good opportunity to get some wins on the board. So I think both teams coming into this one looking to really improve their position on the standings.
compLexity losing quite a few in a row, to be honest, over recent weeks as well. So
yeah,
it's a difficult position to be in, especially when they would have picked up their 4 wins a little bit earlier on in the season. It can be a bit daunting getting that sort of, you're not getting a roll on, you're really just, you're tripping over failure after failure in some of these games. And some of their opponents have been difficult, but, they played a lot of matches. They played 14 overall. I mean,
they've been able to take maps off Immortals, Echo Fox, Renegade. So these are all teams which I think you'd probably rank a little bit above Selfless. So, there's, of course, there's opportunities for them to be able to pick this up against Selfless. As Selfless have played against Splice, they actually won that one 2-0. So, that's where a few of their points are coming from, which was, I guess, a lesser team. They also were able to get wins against E United. I guess that's maybe not in the same caliber of those teams that we spoke about for compLexity. But CLG and Winterfox, another ones that maps have come across for Selfless. So, again, both these teams have got some wins against teams which are, sitting a little bit higher in the standings, and well, of course, some that are sitting lower in the standings as well. But it's so closely matched between the two teams, it's really hard to say.
It certainly is. Well, there's only one way to find out, and that is to jump into game. The pistol round about to go live here between Selfless Gaming and compLexity. Who is going to take it out? I like the line there for Selfless, but I feel like, can he jump through the hoop of compLexity, right? It's like that the burning, like you see in the
Yeah, in the
circus back in the
circus.
day, right? You jump the line through.
line.
I don't know. Don't really know where that's going, but that's just what popped
That's
into
the
my
many
head.
ramblings of Sandman.
Well, look, unfortunately, it's the nature of the beast here, and let's see what compLexity can do. Starting off on the T side, the moment just sitting out toward boost, looking into the middle of the site, or the middle of the map even. At the moment, no one. We haven't seen, to be fair, I can't remember the last time we saw Case here on the B stream. Not while we've been casting it.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh well. At the moment, compLexity making their way back towards that A bomb site. So they peeked around towards B. Didn't get much done there, and now opting to default back over to A. Nifty, he's only on 15 HP, but not really going to be playing a part in this one too much. He's holding very far back towards Truck. The rest of his team's going to have to come up big, and they don't. Uber and Ape finding one apiece. That smoke keeping Nifty at bay. compLexity should be putting themselves in a pretty good position here. That's a very good bomb plant for them here for A main, and I guess Squeaky Door as well. But a good post plant set up here for compLexity now.
Let's see what Selfless can do. They've got 3 players alive, and well, Breezy manages to find 2. Android takes him out, but Mitch now trying to do some damage. Mitch and Nifty, the last 2 left alive. The defuse trying to go down, but it's not going to happen. Uber and Android both finding a frag apiece there and picking up the first pistol round of this matchup. It's going to head over to compLexity. And well, Selfless kind of, they never really put themselves in the position there to take it back, and you know, Breezy gave them a chance finding 2 frags, but other than that, it was all downhill.
Yep, so compLexity making their way back towards that A-bomb site. Selfless have decided to force into this one, so they don't want to let compLexity really get too much on the board to start off with. Although, the buy, I mean, from Selfless here, it's not great. There's not many utilities to utilize here, so just going to be relying on the aim and hoping that those Deagles maybe can get some opening frags.
Whilst compLexity's buy is really perfect heading up to a force buy.
Yeah.
They've got AKs and UMPs, and both of which will work against armor. So it's not like we're rushing out with 5 Mac 10s and hoping for the best. As much as I love to see it, it probably wouldn't work this time, but they're going to push out. They find 1, but fortunately Uber trades them both back there. Going to give the player advantage over to compLexity. The bomb rotating back towards the B site. They now have spotted out a couple of players perhaps on the A side, and it will leave Mitch over here by himself. The back of B, just hoping for the best. Let's see if they can rotate out quickly. What can Mitch do with a Deagle?
Oh, it looked like that shot was going to hit, but didn't manage to connect it. In the end, he hit a couple onto Android X, but not enough damage to actually take him down. And unfortunately for Selfless, they dropped actually the UMP, not one of those AKs there into A main for compLexity. So a little disappointing for them, but Breezy has got himself a UMP, and I mean, maybe he can save this through to the next round, do something with it. Nifty's going to try and peek in towards that B site, try and get a couple of exit frags, put compLexity's economy under a little bit of pressure, but that's not going to work out too well. And now just Breezy floating around in mid. I don't think he's going to have too much of a good time trying to go for anything here, so just going to save that UMP.
Yeah, well, he's stuck in connector right now, and surely Uber pushes this and checks. We'll see who will get the better of who. Maybe Breezy can find this frag and grab an AK, but he's going to have to beat his opponent to the left. He won't do it, Uber. Sorry, Def even finding that frag. Apologies. compLexity now 2-0 up. Selfless, they forced into round 2. That means round number 3 is going to be a no-go for them. We'll see whether they bring out something interesting like a mid-rush, a B stack, force into A main. Let's see what they're going to play. Gonna go, and they're going to stack over on the B side, Alphish Guy. Unfortunately, there's only one person over there right now for compLexity, and that is Android, and he spots them all out. So very quickly, this will see compLexity head on over with the bomb.
He gets wrecked, and there is going to be an AK going into the hands of Selfless, but the A-bomb site's completely free here for compLexity, and they've bought into those Mac 10s. They know that Selfless is going to be on the eco after losing that force buy here, but I mean, it hasn't gone all that well for compLexity. They've had 2 members just playing on their own, getting picked off. No trades available for compLexity. I mean, at least they've got the bomb down, but 2 AKs now in the hands of Selfless. This is definitely not what compLexity would have wanted.
No, not at all. 3-on-3. They push their way onto the site. The bomb at least is down. These post plants should surely be good, but no one trades out one. He finds another, and now he's in a 1v1. He doesn't have armor. Surely Surreal with this this Mac 10 can do the damage he needs. He has a flashbang to work with as well. And no kit on no one. I don't even think they bought one. So a round going to complexity, but still a costly round considering they started with nothing Selfless and they brought them down to one player.
It's really going to hurt the buy here for complexity into this round, having to rebuy all of those AKs. And it's a little bit strange there that complexity would have both the AKs playing solo. Well, not both, there's 3 AKs, but 2 of those AKs playing solo when they had the Mac 10. Like, why would you not just have the Mac 10 holding the B line? Like, there's not really much point in having an AK there when you know that your opponents are going to be up with no armor. And really, the job of that guy in B main is to just get information.
Well, let's see how this B play comes out now for complexity. Look at this, Breezy. He's pushed a player up towards vents, and the smoke going to come down there. I'm not sure if they're going to try and do some sort of mid-split to catch complexity off guard. But all that's going to happen is find themselves caught out here as the B rush is live here for complexity. Surreal in a good spot to find Caboose, and that's exactly what he'll do. Breezy finally sees the player through the smoke. It's now a 2-on-3 Nifty and no one not tagged up at all. They have all of their HP to work with, but the bomb is down once again for complexity. I think that must be 4 in a row. They've got plants down, Elfish Guy. That's how you make the cash money.
It is indeed.
Well, winning this round would be great here for complexity. Selfless really needs to get something on the board.
The utility use has been good here from complexity, slowing things down a lot for Selfless, and no one's going to go down to Android X as well through that as he comes through that vent. Nifty's going to try and hold on to this AWP here, but does look like he's going to be chased down. The pop flash coming out for Surreal. It's a good pop flash as well, completely blinding Nifty, but looks like Surreal just a little scared to be peeking this corner. In the end, he should get this job done with the Glock.
Well, he's going to die from the bomb anyway, surely, if he's still alive. So in the end, it doesn't matter. Android X finds the frag. 4-0 the score. Complexity looking very, very good here on the T side of Cache. Selfless Gaming, on the other hand, what are they going to do? No one has bought himself some armor. Will the rest of the team be following?
They should.
Well,
it's weird to just see one guy buy up armor and put himself at a lower amount of cash like that, but there you go. A couple more playing for... It's sort of like a half buy, really. It's not even really a force here for Selfless. And, I mean, I guess they're not hoping for all that much here, but see what they can do with those pistols.
Uber
and Ape, though.
Yeah, Uber with the right weapon to do the damage here. The P90. Potential to rip these guys to shreds, and that's exactly what he will be doing until Breezy ends his tirade, and that Deagle at range will find Uber, but 2 players remain. The bomb plant successful once again here for complexity. Both of them going to come up through truck, and maybe Breezy at range with this Deagle can do some damage, but that's the only way this is going to start off with any sort of hope here for the guys on Selfless. It looks like they're just going to try and work for some exit frags. But Def will take down Breezy. That leaves Mitch. And looks like he's going to head back towards maybe Z connector here. But Def is ready and waiting. He'll be watching over the top. But that Deagle will do the damage. 2 shots required. But it doesn't matter. He takes him out. Complexity, though, are going to get their 5th round on the board. And Surreal, at the end of the round, will pick up Mitch. So... yeah, I was going to say before, perhaps Mitch and Nifty were saving for 2 AWPs. I don't know if that's actually going to be the case. Was that the reason that they went for the save? No, Mitch just going to buy full utility. So Nifty didn't buy armor last round, so he could buy an AWP.
Yep.
And Mitch, on the other hand, he's just going to be going for an M4. So finally, Selfless here with a real buy.
Yeah.
Something to speak about.
Although that was a much better anti-eco from complexity. Their buy into this round as a result, a little bit better as well. But as you say, Selfless have got that AWP in the hands of Nifty, and to be honest, he was looking like one of the better players for Selfless, so we'll see what he can do now that he's got his favoured weapons, or weapon, in his hand. Complexity, though, they're looking pretty good so far throughout this first half of Cache, and Android X will start off onto Mitch, so again, not a great start into this one from Complexity. Def looks like he's lining up a smoke here, although for the moment, Complexity have just not opted to really do anything too aggressive. Maybe setting up for an A execute. I have to look and see what Uber's doing at the moment, but it certainly seems like they could do that.
1 minute remaining on the clock here. And well, the A side is looking like where Complexity want to push. They really have not been challenged at all so far this game. And we'll see if Selfless can perhaps turn this around. They've got 2 players on A, 1 over towards the B site, and 1 down here in checkers. Android's going to peek through and finds that frag very quickly. Nifty in a good spot to trade it back. There we go. But now it's a 3-on-4. compLexity still with the advantage. They're going to have to push A. They don't have time to go anywhere else. And look at the rotation coming through mid here as well. Will probably catch no one off guard. Follow Def out. Surely he does something. Look at this. Surreal pushes through, and now Nifty, the last one left alive for his team. And that AWP up against 3 players, it doesn't matter how tagged they are, Elfish Guy.
Nope. Definitely doesn't. Nifty looks like he still wants to challenge this one a little bit, so he's creeping forward ever so slowly, but Def's in a great spot to catch him out here behind that smoke as he just peeks around. Nifty's going to go down, and there's another one on the board for compLexity now. At the end of that, it's going to be 0-6 in the favor of the T side. Selfless, probably just a pistol armor buy into this one so that they can buy properly next round, but I mean, the situation just doesn't get better at all for them, does it?
No, it certainly doesn't. They really don't seem to know what to do with what compLexity is throwing at them. And to be fair, what compLexity is doing isn't particularly complex.
Yeah.
To go with their name, I suppose. You know, they're not bringing out some crazy executes. Look at this. Just a quick push there from Ape. Might be able to find one. Should get the second. Surely he does. The spray down eventually successful. But to follow that up, you know, all they've been doing is walking on finding the frags, really. And Selfless has been allowing them onto these sites. This pistol armor buy really not doing all that much at all. Breezy potentially could be successful here with the Deagle. But the bomb over to the B site. And, well, Android X in a good spot to clean up Mitch as well. So, should be 7 on the board here for compLexity. Selfless having pistol armored into this round. And, of course, with that full loser bonus heading in for however many rounds in a row they want to keep losing, I suppose. They'll consistently have that money.
But, look, Mitch has got an AK here. If they can take down Def and get out of here with the AK alive, it could be huge. But it's not going to happen. Def picks up both of those frags, and now compLexity really putting themselves in a good spot. Look at the kills for Android X and Uber looking like the ones who are doing a bit of work. Def as well. So everyone from compLexity chiming in with some frags. It's good to see for them. 7 on the board. I mean, they couldn't have hoped for a better start than this.
No, absolutely not. And, well, they're really struggling, Selfless. They need to change it up, find something different. The only people changing up right now are compLexity as they head over to this B site with a full stack of 5 right now. And only Breezy on that site just to try and hold them back. We can see that Mitch is just behind the box there in checkers as well. Let's see how this plays out.
Quick push into the B side here from compLexity. Might not work out, though. Mitch gets traded, so not so bad for the T side here. No one has managed to get up onto heaven, and the bomb is dropped in an awful position now for compLexity. This is looking like a pretty good situation at the end of the day for Selfless. No one dropping off there. He's going to get the 2-man spray down. A very good effort from him in this round, picking up 3 kills so far. And, well, I think just that bomb dropping in an awkward position for compLexity has pretty much shut that round down.
Yeah, they did not spot the player early enough sitting under heaven, though. To be fair, you would have expected he could have picked up more than 1 frag, hiding, lurking in the smoke. They traded him, but it didn't matter. By the time they spun around, Breezy was able to do a bit, and, well, look at that. No one actually found 3 frags in this round already. So this is what Selfless needs to do, but they need to do it for essentially another 7 rounds after this one, Elfish Guy.
Yeah, well, got to question how is that going to happen when compLexity have been looking so good. I mean, they sort of changed their strategy up a little bit there, going quickly into the B side. It didn't work out well for them that time, so I'd expect compLexity here are going to just default back to maybe a slower A push, which has been working out for them quite a lot. Obviously, a lot of money in the bank still here for the T side, so they're going to buy back into it. I mean, their economy's not looking as good as you might expect after a 7-0 advantage, but at least they're going to get a buy into this one. If they lose this, though, I mean, they might be forced back on the eco.
Yeah, well, there's a potential for that to happen. compLexity, I think just last round they were taking it. They didn't take that round seriously enough, but I don't mind the rush, but of course it didn't work out for them. So this time they're going to go back to a more default setup, trying to just take a look at overboost. But look how far Selfless has pushed into A main, into warehouse right there. So potential for them to gain control of this one and potentially catch compLexity off guard. We see one has moved down to Sunroom towards the B site. Android X peeks out, and it doesn't matter. The Caboose had that great positioning. He goes down. So you can't, if you do that, it just, you know what I mean? You get to good spot.
Yeah.
You need to find the frag.
Yeah, and again, the slow A push has worked out pretty well here for compLexity. Nifty in a good spot to find a couple, but only manages to get one shot off and before being traded out by Ape. It's now 4 versus 1. Mitch is down to 17 HP.
Wow.
Gets taken through the smoke by
Yeah,
Def.
okay, mate. Yeah, that's cool.
18,
It's okay.
8 even on the board.
Just fire through it. It's cool. Just fire
Why are
through
you
the
mad?
smoke.
You're not even playing.
Just flying through the smoke. It's cool. It's cool. To be fair, it was a pretty good frag. Nice call out from his teammates there. And the score now 8-1. And as you said, Selfless now going to be forced back onto this eco. Breezy, the only one on his team with any sort of funds to work with. The rest of them really struggling for cash. On the other end of the spectrum, compLexity, they're sitting pretty. Most of their players, you know, yeah. Right, well, maybe some tech issues here for the guys in compLexity. So they just want to sort themselves out. Android, perhaps we can see there he hasn't spent anything other than to buy armor. At the end, he's going to buy.
Okay, he's
Buy a Mac 10. Yeah,
he knows
well,
they're on an eco, I guess.
he does. This is how you make the dollars, Elfish guy. This is it. This is how you do it. Do the sick plays. Maybe they listen to you when they're like, why would you have the AK holding that line? Why would you not just send a Mac 10? And they're gone, oh well, the real Elfish guy said it.
Yeah.
So Android, it's over to you, mate. Head over to that B side and just hold.
We'll see what they do.
Yeah, I guess we will. Very, very shortly. But so far, compLexity has been playing this very, very well.
Definitely.
Just, I don't know, Selfless just doesn't seem to get it.
No, I mean, it is strange that they're not having a little bit more of a go at this one. I thought it would be a lot closer than this, to be honest. But compLexity have just come charging out of the gates with a fantastic scoreline so far. And even 8 here on the T half of Cache is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever the compLexity guys get from here on out is just a bonus, really. Well.
There we go. Just getting their coach back in, I suppose.
Uh-huh.
Ready to go here.
Coach lag.
Yeah, BL. We should be underway very, very shortly. And, well, we hope that this would be close like we saw in Mirage. But so far, compLexity of being running away with the game. And, well, Selfless need to change something up. They need to,
yeah,
I don't know.
They need to be performing a little bit better on that A-bomb site. I mean, for compLexity, they've just been slow playing that A-bomb site, getting the picks when they've needed to. Like, compLexity are barely even really challenging mid. They've got one guy over towards B just to watch for the rotate, maybe. But apart from that, they've just been walking out through A main, through Squeaky, getting onto that site, and taking control of things.
Well, freeze time will now be cancelled. We'll have to see what the play is going to be. I want to see what Android's going to do with this Mac 10.
Just run around, shoot people.
Well, yeah, that's normally what you do with it, I suppose. That is normally what you will do. It's going to be a few players heading over towards A. Again, going to stack in mid and try and boost someone up, potentially. Just have a look. A quick A main push this time is what's going to come out. But Selfless, they've stacked the correct site. What can they do with their pistols and essentially no armor? Well. Ape, straight through the door, picks up Nifty.
Yeah.
What more could you ask for?
Everything seems to be coming up perfect for compLexity at the moment. You wouldn't usually expect to get a kill with a spray through the door like that, but this time Ape does manage to do that. Uber's able to find 1 and 2. Def in the meanwhile grabbed himself 1. He gets dropped down relatively low, and it'll allow Breezy to pick up a kill for himself, but once again, another good round coming out there for compLexity. They only lose the Mac 10. Keep all those AKs alive. A buy going to come out again for Selfless. It's not going to be a good one, though.
No, certainly not. Look at this. 1 UMP, 1 FAMAS. No AWP at all. And limited utility to work with. It's the guys in compLexity who have been having a very, very good first half here as the Terrorists. Well, they've got a great buy coming out. They're going to push quickly over towards Squeaky. Wouldn't be surprised to see a boost coming out here between these two players, trying to get someone up on top of the boxes, which is not a bad boost at all, should they decide to push onto the A side. But, well, unfortunately right now for the guys on Selfless, the A site does not look to be the site of choice for compLexity. The bomb potentially ready to go through vents, and we'll have to wait and see. So far, no frags have gone down this room. It's probably the longest we've gone without a frag at the start of a round, because a lot of these have been very, very quick.
Yeah, definitely. And now compLexity once again trying to work mid this time. So changing things up a little bit after that pause that Selfless had called. For now, though, they do get quite easily into mid. No one really contesting it for Selfless. It is going to be Nifty charging out there, and it's actually Mitch to find the first frag of this one. And Nifty pushing through the smoke. He spots out Def, but doesn't manage to get the kill across, and really needed to find that in that situation. Back to 4v4.
The bomb still undecided, looking like it's going to head back towards the B site. 2 players on B, 2 on A for Selfless, so they have a 50-50 split of players. Mitch only on 14 HP though on the side. So it's going to be down to Breezy potentially to do a bit of the damage here. Android pushes up. And the flash not really going to do much now. Mitch on no HP, but he does find the frag. They now know he's there, and Caboose, he's going to jump up to heaven as well. The flash comes out, a great flash. Drops Uber, drops the bomb. And now Def, the last one left alive. Selfless in a position to win their second round of the first half. Def finds Mitch, gets traded out straight away by Caboose.
There was no time for him to do anything there anyway, but just gets a little bit of extra economic damage over to Selfless, so not too bad for compLexity. To be honest, if I was compLexity here, I probably just wouldn't even be heading towards that B site. They've tried it twice, it hasn't worked twice. Every time they've gone to A, it's worked, so I reckon just keep hitting that A-bomb site.
Keep pushing it forward, and again, Selfless here, no AWP for them as the CTs. So I'm not sure if they're just not favouring it. They'd rather have the rifles. They just don't have the money to do it. We would have had to, I suppose, pay attention at the start of the round to see if that was the case. But to be fair, they haven't, winning 2 rounds out of the first 11. Your economy ain't going to be looking so great.
No. It's a pretty good Molotov. Forces Breezy out of position here, and see if Android can take advantage of that, but actually Breezy crossing over to the vent now. He's going to be okay. compLexity, for now, doing that sort of slow play once again, which I like to see. It's worked out for them quite a lot throughout this first half here, and defaulting perhaps back to A, although looks like they're going to go for a bit of a boost into mid. No, they are going into A main, I think. So this is what I kind of wanted to see from compLexity. It's worked out so many times for them, and there's really only one guy actually on the side here for Selfless. If compLexity can get a smoke into...
Well, there's no one on the side, Elfish guy.
What?
Well, his name's no one.
Oh. Why do you do this to me?
Why do I do it? Well, the A site's where they're going to go, and no one gets found out very, very quickly there by Def. The bomb should go down with success. A molly coming out, but all it's going to do is block off the guys from Selfless from getting onto the site. Still one sitting on B. Oh, very late to convince Mitch that he does need to rotate. Def finds Caboose, continues to fire through the smoke. Not going to happen. Nifty goes down, and Mitch, the player who was sitting on the B side, is now the last one alive for his team. And he is content to go back to where he started and try and hold onto that M4. So the score will be 2-10. compLexity having a great first half here as the T side. Selfless, I don't even know. They need to, anything.
Stack 4 on A.
Anything will do.
Yeah, maybe sort of like a 3-1-1 split as opposed to like a 2-1-2. Just stack 3 over to the A-bomb site, have one in mid, maybe by white box, and have the other guy on B.
Mitch actually managed to find 3 frags there before he got taken down.
Yeah, but like, what does it matter?
Yeah, doesn't matter hugely. Only Android X struggling for money right now on compLexity, but you say that and he still has a full buy. Surreal sitting on only 4 frags as well, so just not getting as much perhaps opportunity as the rest of his team. I think we've seen him go a number of times over towards that B side to try and hold while the rest of his team has gone to A, and he hasn't even had any fun. So going to swap it up and send Uber over to B this time, over towards Sunroom. The bomb once more. You talked about stacking A. It's not a bad idea, and there's 2 of them there. Oh, sorry, 3 of them there even to start with here for Selfless. And well, no one will find. Surreal finds 2. And
Caboose should get this one as well. So all of a sudden, not a bad round coming out here for Selfless, especially if they can perhaps take control of a couple of those weapons that were dropped in A main. Caboose is just peeking around through Squeaky, trying to get some information here. They don't know that those remaining 2 players from compLexity are headed towards the B site, but there are 2 players from Selfless to match them. We'll see what these guys can do. If they get both these entries safely onto the B site, it's still a clutchable round for compLexity. There goes one. Def picks that up. Mitch in a close angle isn't going to be able to get the job done with the P250, and now the retake must come out for Selfless with both those AKs. I mean, I guess they can save them through to the next round, but at this point, you just need to be getting rounds on the board.
Well, you need to win. So as much as those AKs are useful, those AKs and a round win here are even better.
Yeah.
I think that's what they've got to do, but we say that they don't make anything of it at all. Obviously, that lack of utility really a difficult situation to deal with. And now 11 on the board for compLexity.
Selfless can't even really afford a good buy into this one. They're going to force, but it's going to be 3 for Masters and a couple of UMPs. That's not what you want.
Certainly isn't. It's not often you find yourself speechless there, Elfish Guy, but that's kind of... There's not much to say about what Selfless is doing. It's just been... just hasn't been working at all.
Yeah.
The 3-stack, how often have we seen them play mid? Like, not at all.
This boost actually might not be a bad decision if they can jump over there and catch both those players in A main, or even just one, get a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, well, that's what the bomb is as well.
Considering the buy that compLexity have here, if they get a 1-for-1, I don't think it's going to be too bad. See what Caboose can do from quad. compLexity, I don't know what they're doing here. It looks like maybe just sending a couple into the B site to fake it out. Although they should get taken out by those players in the vent. Nope.
Should. Should, won't. Unfortunately. And well, if they actually had made something of that boost, I think it probably would have worked out better for them. But I suppose they were not to know precisely where that bomb was right now. And it's what they lost players over towards B. And that leaves Mitch again by himself. Caboose coming back around as well. So he should be there in time. But Mitch just burns to get the 1G coming out there. Now, 2 left alive, make that 1. It's all up to Breezy, and it's not going to be easy peasy today, Elfish Guy. He finds 1. Also can try and grab that AWP, but Android X coming through from behind. Finds the frag, and a 13-2 looking like a very likely score here for compLexity. A very, very good score.
Yep. It's an absolutely fantastic score on the T side of Cache. This is one of the maps which we would expect to be a bit more even, sort of 8-7, that kind of scoreline to come out. But for compLexity to come out here and just absolutely smash Selfless on their T side, it's fantastic to see. Well, for compLexity at least, not so much for Selfless.
Well, that's it. If you're a compLexity fan, you're like, wow, maybe the boys are coming back here in the ESL Pro League. If you're a Selfless fan, you're like, well,
rip.
This is less than ideal, 100%. So... Maybe on train it's going to be a different story, Elfish Guy. We'll just have to wait and see how that one plays out. But for now, it's looking like a very, very quick game number 1 between these 2 teams here on Cache.
Well, who knows what can happen on the second half. We've seen Stranger Things.
I have seen it. Have you watched it?
I have, actually.
It was good. If you like Stranger Things, you should go and watch Twin Peaks. That's all I'm going to say.
Def with 3K coming out from mid. Really making life difficult here for Selfless. Now a 2 versus 5 and almost an unwinnable situation. Uber's going to find one onto Mitch as he tries to rotate back across to that A-bomb site. But Caboose, with only 19 HP to work with, there's basically nothing that he can do with this one.
No, not at all. Down to 19 HP and should find himself dying very, very quickly here as the guys from compLexity surround him. 13-2. The first half score between compLexity and Selfless Gaming. compLexity destroying the guys over at Selfless. Can they follow it up with a pistol round and 2 quick wins? We'll have to find out. We'll be back right after this.
This is the galaxy's easiest meal. And this is the galaxy's easiest haircut.
I absolutely love it.
Soylent, the galaxy's easiest meal. This is the galaxy's easiest meal. And this is the galaxy's easiest race. Soylent, the galaxy's easiest meal.
He's going to get the one kill in that bomb coming onto the zone. FNX has to stand up. Oh, he gets the triple FNX. Oh my God, what a way to win that round. They don't have a smoke, so this over still. Oh, look at that.
Welcome back to our second half here. compLexity up against Selfless, and the potential here, Elfish Guy, for this to be over very, very quickly. compLexity, they grab the pistol round here as the CT side. That could be it. Let's see what Selfless can do. Maybe they're better as the Ts. I don't know. I certainly hope so.
Well, it's hard to say. I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they are.
I don't think they're going to be any worse on the T side than they were on the CT side.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
Even if they lose the first 3 rounds, you can't even tell.
Well, Selfless are going to be hoping that's not the case.
I hope it's not the case.
Couple of players here for Selfless just buying up on the utilities, so some smokes. Maybe going to go for something in towards mid here, or the A site, if they can smoke off a couple of those key, areas of the A bomb site. They might be able to get in close with those Glocks, but something has to come out for Selfless. And there goes one smoke into the mid connector, the Z connector. Surreal, though, is causing a bit of trouble here for Selfless as they try to make their way in, but he's taken down by Caboose. Nice couple of shots with that Glock.
Yeah, well, the B site's the site to go to here. Only Android sitting up the back at the moment, and they will find him out there. The bomb should go down. The rotation coming out quickly here from compLexity. 3 of them alive. Ape goes down, Uber and Def. He with a ton of work to do. They're going to try and make something of this, but no one in a good spot. Breezy finds the last frag. 13-3 Selfless. They needed the pistol round. They pick it up. Maybe they do know how to play the T-side, Elfish Guy.
Well, you say that, but we have yet to actually see them really play the T-side. Like, the pistol round, you can't take that much from it. Pistols can be 50-50 at times, and, well, we'll see what compLexity can come back into with their first buy. This is, of course, just going to be sort of an eco, a bit of a half buy, get some pistols, see if they can find something in this one, but they won't be expecting much. I'm kind of surprised to see compLexity actually not forcing into this one, considering the amount of rounds that they have to play with. But obviously just wanted to go play the sort of the safe game. And here for Selfless, they've got control of mid already.
Yeah, well, it's certainly the smart play here just to save their money and buy in when required, when they've got the cash to work with. compLexity trying to, I suppose, play some reactive CS. So they're going to try and push out here as they saw that once they saw the players out in mid. And they actually don't really manage to do much at all, to be perfectly honest. So Def will find a 1 frag. Will finally get taken down, and this should be it for the guys of compLexity. Selfless, at least it's a quick round, okay? They don't really give the guys of Selfless too much time to warm up there as the Ts.
Both those AKs taken through to the next round, though, from the T side. So, yeah, pretty happy about this. compLexity going to be back on the eco once again. This time it's not going to be quite as good of a buy as what they had last time, but still a couple of flashbangs, so maybe we'll see something similar here for compLexity. A bit of a stack in towards mid, but no, they decided they want to go and fall back to their normal positions.
I just want to point out what a great game Def is having. He's got 26 frags from 17 rounds.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's such an insanely good score, and it's at the point where like he would almost be guaranteed to get a 30 bomb here if the game actually goes long enough. That's the real situation, the potential for him just not to have the opportunity to get these frags.
Well, I mean, he could just do it anyway, even if compLexity closes out something like 16-5. Who knows? We'll find out, I guess.
I guess we will.
For now, Selfless are just trying to work the B side a little bit, not really committing to it, but trying to draw a few of those rotates across, and they have successfully done that. There's 4 CTs in that area, but now compLexity kind of cottoning on to the fact that maybe it's not going to be a B take here for Selfless. They've rotated back out towards mid, but, well, as a result, Selfless have decided they want to go in towards the B side. So compLexity reading the situation, yeah, perhaps a little bit incorrectly. Caboose not even bothered by all those US people that's flying around his head.
No, Smoke's going to come down and try and block off Bent. Breezy finds a frag, and well, now 4 players left alive here for compLexity. The bomb going to go down. Uber getting tagged through the wall as well. They shouldn't be able to retake this at all. It should be a 13-5 heading over to Selfless.
I don't think compLexity even really want to retake this. They're just trying to get some exit frags or keep Selfless on that bomb so that they can't get out and they die, lose a couple of weapons, something like that.
It's a smart play.
So eventually, Selfless are going to have to bust out of here, and well, Caboose does it very nicely.
Work.
3K with the Mac 10. Bit of extra cash for him.
Yeah. Bit of extra cash on cash, Elfish guy.
No, cash, mate.
It is cash, so it's
cash on cash.
I wonder how real the tilt is when you're like, we're here on cash, he's pushing through Z connector with a CZ.
Yeah.
So, I could understand a couple of people not so impressed about that, but, well,
bad luck.
BL. It's going to push out towards Squeaky to start off with here for Selfless Gaming. 1 player sitting on the site right now for compLexity. The other 4, you can see 3 in mid and the last one over towards the B site. Just see if they push out very, very quickly onto A, and that would be the best move for Selfless. What can Uber do? How long will he hold here before he does something? And, well, should be getting taken down. Selfless looking a little bit stronger here as the T side, Elfish guy. Surreal now the last one left alive for his team. And I'm sure he'd love to hold on to this AWP instead. They could potentially force him to the next round if he stays alive and falls behind this AWP. Finds one. They now know where he is. He's going to have to change up his positioning. There's only so many places to hide here, though.
He almost was holding the right line there for Nifty, but actually peeks it and does pick up the kill. Doesn't really take all that much damage as well for his trouble. So we'll see how long he can hang on to this AWP. There's still 3 Selfless players trying to take him down, but they're going about it the wrong way. They're just peeking him one by one, or he's peeking them
now
one
he's
by
in
one.
trouble,
But
surely.
yeah, exactly. This is how things needed to go. A little bit earlier for Selfless. They force him into a really poor spot, and they take him down 2 versus 1. And there you go. So the AWP not in the hands of compLexity in this one, but he did a bit of work with it towards the end there. Still, it'll be another eco here for compLexity and Selfless. They're starting to come back into this one.
Yep, well, only another 10 rounds required here for Selfless. So it's a pretty big ask coming out for them.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not like they're going to be world beaters by now, but you know, we'll see if they can come back into this one. Then
Well, they don't need to be world beaters. They just need to beat compLexity, who are currently 11th on the ladder.
Yeah, definitely. Selfless playing very slowly in this one, not wanting to get taken out by an eco rush from compLexity, and that's probably a good decision. As you can see, Def has moved very far forward up there into Warehouse. He's also been joined by Surreal. Did they go over the boost, or are they in Warehouse? I think they're in Warehouse. Well, their push is not going to work out there. Surreal is going to be going down to Breezy. And once again, it looks like the A-bomb site is the option of choice here for the T side.
Yeah, well, it's been working out for them so far. That third Molotov, though, not necessarily the best choice. Uber, what can he do with this P250? He's in the spot to play it from. Nice and close, ready to go at forklift. And never mind.
Yeah.
Rest in
Hyped it up a
peace.
little bit too much there, I think.
Well, you got to find something to be excited about, I suppose. But this round, it does not look like anyone can get excited except for Selfless Gaming, because they find 5 frags. They don't lose a player. And that's perfect for them. And now 13-7, looking just, just that little bit closer.
Yeah, it's getting better.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. 13's a lot of rounds
It's
on the
the
boards
mindset,
here.
right?
Yeah. From 13-7, you're like, you know what? People have definitely won from here in the past. People have won 15 straight in the past and won.
Yeah.
But 13-7 definitely more doable, and this is going to be one of those crucial rounds. Can they pick compLexity up on the bye? Will compLexity sort out what they've been doing here is the CT side and put themselves 2 rounds away from victory.
Well, I think they've gone for the super boost there over on the A-bomb site, so seems like Uber's up in that position. Def holding towards Forklift, so a decent crossfire set up there for compLexity on that A-bomb site, but as of yet, they really haven't had much success holding on to any of these sites. So for this one to work out, it's going to be pretty important for compLexity. It won't force Selfless back on an eco, though, so even if they do win this one, then they're going to have a bit of trouble in the next one as well. Looks like it will be an execute onto A from Selfless, but might be a fake as they're busting out into mid here. And well, they might wrap around onto that A-bomb site after all and see how this works out. compLexity's hold maybe not as ideal for that sort of a situation. Uber has been spotted out. He'll only get 1 though. It's a 2 for 2 overall so far.
3 left alive for both teams here. The bomb should be able to get onto this onto this A-bomb side anyway.
Good
that Molotov, yeah, that was very nicely played. Nifty now.
And Android has one as well. Where's he? He can probably throw a Molotov into the default position as well if he can try. Nah, not quite going to get it off. So, yeah, compLexity 3 on the retake.
Exactly right. They're going to try and play this retake out. By the looks of it, they allowed them onto the site. They didn't push and try and stop the plants. So compLexity wanting to make something of it, but Nifty and Mitch both finding frags, and all of again Surreal. Well, he found 3 last time, but I don't expect to see him finding 3 more right now. He'll just be holding on to this AWP, one would imagine. 13-8 will be the score. compLexity, their economy won't be looking very good.
Nope.
That losers bonus, of course, adding up for them. But it's not the same, Elfish Guy. It's not the same as winning rounds, keeping weapons. At the moment, they are not winning rounds at all. It's like...
I wonder if they force behind this AWP. Looks like they do.
With the scout, yeah. It's the cheap man's double AWP setup.
Poor man's.
Well, sure. No, the poor man's double AWP setup is 2 scouts. The cheap man's is 1 AWP and 1 scout.
Okay.
Right?
Def has not managed to get a single frag in, like, what? The entire second half?
To add to his 26?
Yeah.
Look at that. Straight up, they will pick up Android. Mitch fires through the door, does not find anyone.
It really has to be Surreal here to do something with that AWP. Like, sure, you can say, oh, maybe the pistols can get a frag or 2, but if compLexity is going to win this round, it really has to be off the back of the AWP. The only real weapon that they've been able to take into this round. And I mean, he's pushing aggressively. He's trying to make something out of this one. He might be able to do something, and he's only been able to wall Caboose there, but finally gets the second shot off. Brings it back to 4 versus 4. He still has more work to do, though. He's fallen back further into A main. He might be challenged, but he's going to cross back into the site quite safely.
Selfless, they're definitely in a position here to team up and push this side as 4, which is what they need to do. The A site a little bit more open perhaps than the B site. They have a ton of utility, though, to make this happen. So we'll see how the combination of Ape and Dev here can work. Those 2 players, however, do not have that much to work with at all. 2 flashbangs, one of which will be used straight away to no avail. And Def burning down up the back of the side as well. So Nifty, he's going to peek on board. Straight through, look at that, straight through the box, straight through Def's head. And that will leave Uber as one of the last 2 players left alive for his team. And now they forced into the round. Selfless picked it up. They've got so much money, though. Look at this. It was I don't know. I don't even know. Just that loser's bonus combined with the fact that they spent half of their money, I suppose saved the other half.
Yeah, not a good situation now for compLexity. I mean, both bomb sites feeling relatively weak. Mid, they can't even control all that well here either. So, I mean, what I'd like to see, I guess, from compLexity is just try something a bit out there. Try and catch Selfless off guard and pick up that 1 round that maybe you need to turn that momentum back in your favor and close out the map. Maybe just go for a quick push into mid, do a bit of a counter boost, something like that, see if they can catch Selfless off guard and try that at least, because at the moment compLexity are just letting Selfless come to them, and quite clearly it's not working.
Yeah, it's certainly not, and to the surprise of no one, this is a compLexity tactical pause.
Nice quick one.
It was a nice quick one. They had a quick chat. They're like, right guys, what are we going to do? Stop being bad as CTs. Oh yeah, good idea. Done.
Let's try
easy, easy done.
Well, we'll see if it's as easy done as it is said here for compLexity. This time, just going for a single player in towards the A-bomb site, pushing a bit aggressively in towards mid, so changing things up. Good to see. Is Mitch out in mid? Yes, he is. He's actually been spotted out by Def, but yeah, 1-for-1 trade there for compLexity when they had 3 players in that position. Probably not what they would have wanted.
Well, it's still a 4-on-4. The bomb is going towards B site. Surreal. What can he do? He needs to play around the smoke. Picks up Breezy. Are they even paying attention? I don't even know. And, well, Android drops down, finds a frag. And look at that.
Surreal.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
He played that one, well, I want to say very well, but it was kind of just like, what is going on here? Hiding in behind that smoke, picks up the frag as the smoke pops. He's done a good job. And compLexity find a round as a result. 14 on the board now.
Yeah, it must be like the first round that compLexity's won in, I don't even know how many lots. If you had your sheet here, which guy we'd know.
Yeah, I don't.
If I had a tab button, we'd know. They've lost a lot in a row, and if they lose this round, they'll be back onto an eco. So Selfless need to pick this up, make it 14-10, and they put themselves in definitely a position where they can bring it back.
Yeah, and they'll also reset the economy there for compLexity, which will make things a little bit more difficult for the CT side. So it's kind of a must-win here for compLexity, actually, if they don't want to let Selfless get ever closer.
On the other hand, it's probably a must-win as well for Selfless.
Yeah, so an important round for both sides coming out here. Ape is going to be spamming through the squeaky door there. Doesn't manage to land any shots, but again, sort of another different setup from compLexity. They've got a player very far forward in mid. Only that one really on the A-bomb site. One player heading up highway as well. So now starting to get a bit of a stronger A-hold going on as they start to read the situation as to where Selfless might be trying to execute onto.
46 seconds remain on the clock for Selfless to pick a site, commit to it, and well, Def, I'm finding that frag there from Boost, exactly. Going to make that even more difficult. They'll have to run back, grab the bomb, and now they're going to have to commit to one of these sites. Looks like it might be...
Wow. How is no one checking this?
Def should be one away here from his 30 bomb, potentially already on it. We'll see at the start of the next round. But, yeah. How do you lose 3 people to the same boosted player?
You peek him one by one as his teammates throw pop flashes for him.
It's just such a shame that after such a good effort to bring this one back from Selfless, it looks like they're going to throw it away by pushing one after one after one. Def sitting on 29 frags. Probably potential for this to be the last round. Well, of course there's potential for this to be the last round. But after that one, what do Selfless do? They've got the money to buy back into this one and most likely do something, about it. They have to commit. Obviously, they can't afford to lose any more. So either they win the next 6 straight with great economy, or the game is over.
Indeed. Well, I mean, there's still the second map, I suppose, but it's been a decent fight back here from Selfless. compLexity, I think they're going to be disappointed even if they close this out 16-9, that they let Selfless come back in here, get a bit of momentum heading into that second map. So, yeah, it could have been a better situation overall here for compLexity, but again, they still have this one round ahead of them that they have to focus on before they can really have a bit of a break.
All right, we will see a real execute coming out onto the A side here. They're going to split from A main and from Squeaky. But they've lost, look at all these players down so low on HP, and now Mitch, the only one left alive. They're Lions, Elfish Guy. They think they could jump through the flames, but it just did not work.
Nope.
They all took that fire damage. Maybe need to play more World of Warcraft. Don't stand in the flames, guys. But that will be that. compLexity, in the end, will clean them up. It took them a long, long time. It should have been way quicker than that.
Yep.
But Selfless bringing it back. Both teams proving to be stronger on the T side than the CT side.
Yeah, I mean, Def finally got it together at the end of that CT side there. Ended up on 32 frags, I think it might have been. So managed to finally get something going on the CT half for him. And, of course, as a result, you can see compLexity were able to close it out.
They certainly were. Well, we're going to head on over to Train. It was a map pick here for Selfless. They started off so slowly there on Cache. I don't know, maybe on their own map they'll be a little bit more successful. There's glimmers of hope here for Selfless Gaming. Can we have 2 1-1s across the night? We'll have to take a break, and we will be back with our last map and all of the action.